and welcome to week 2 of our flex class. I have enjoyed seeing everybody post their coconut macaroons on our class page, and I hope you enjoyed making them. They all looked beautiful and delicious, so I know you guys are super excited for this week because it is finally time to learn how to make the French macarons, what you guys have all been waiting to learn how to make. Yes! I'm so excited to teach you guys how to make this, and just to let you guys know, I have been making French macarons for 7 years now. It took me 1 whole year to get my macarons looking just like this. If your macarons don't come out looking like mine, this is your first time making French macarons, so I am still going to be super proud of you. Let's get down to making French macarons. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you all everything that we need out and ready to make our French macaron. Alright guys, so what you're going to need is you're going to need trays. You're going to need about 3 to 4. It just depends on how big you make your French macarons. You'll also need a silpat mat. If you don't have a silpat mat, wax paper or the parchment paper works just fine. Next, we're going to have our electric ware. You want to turn it on and make sure that it says grams. Right now mine says millimeters, so to make it say grams, you can do your unit until you get it at 0 grams. Next, what we have is our bag along with our piping tip. Today I'm using a size 10. You can use a size 10 or a size 12, or you can use a big one. Make sure it just looks about this big, has a round tip. Next, you're going to need 2 small bowls or 2 small containers. Then you'll need a medium-sized bowl along with a big bowl that is not this big bowl, but we're just using this to measure out our stuff. Then you're going to need your colors along with a nice tall glass. Then you will need your spoon. It can be a rubber spoon or it can be a wooden spoon, it doesn't matter. You'll also need a fork, and you will also need a knife if you have this kind of coloring. Then you'll need 3 little scoops. It doesn't matter what size they are, it can be 3 different ones. Next, you'll need a big bowl. In this big bowl, you'll have your sifter in the big bowl. After, you'll need to have a stand mixer. If you're using a hand mixer, I will post the different speeds that we do, and you want to look on there and make sure everybody has speed number 10. If you don't have speed number 10 on your stand mixer, no worries. Next, you will need this whisk attachment on your stand mixer. Then you're going to need salt. It doesn't have to be this kind, just any salt. You'll need your almond flour, which is the one that looks brown. You'll need confectioner sugar, that's the one that looks like snow. And last but not least, you'll need the granulated sugar. This one's a little bit more thick. After, you will also need your room temperature eggs. I only have this many eggs because I do have another class after this, so you don't need this many. You'll need about 7 to 8 eggs, just depending. So now we will get ready to learn how to make French macarons. What I want you guys to do first is I want you all to take your bag. You want to take your piping bag, and you're going to go ahead and put your tip into that piping bag. Once you have that tip in your piping bag, you want to take that tall glass and you want to put your piping bag into the glass. If I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video. And then once it's in the glass, it's going to look like this. If you have stuff hanging over, that's fine. You want to make sure that everybody has all of their mats and silpat mats or wax paper out. Again, you're going to use about 3 to 4. It just depends on how big you make your macaron. So go ahead and make sure those are all out and ready. So now we're going to begin measuring our items. The first thing that we're going to measure is our almond flour. With our almond flour, we're going to have 115 grams of almond flour. 115 grams of almond flour. When we are scooping everything out, you want to go ahead and get one of your scoops because you don't want to contaminate it. But you're going to, when we weigh, we're going to put a bowl on our weigher. You're going to turn it on, and you're going to make sure it says 0 grams. That's 0 grams with the bowl on top. Make sure that you put the bowl and it's at 0 grams before you start. So we're going to weigh out our almond flour. It is at 115 grams. So you're gonna weigh 115 grams of almond flour. Remember, that is 115 grams. If you get too much, you can always take it out. You have your 115 grams. You are then going to put salt in there. What you're going to do is you're going to take your salt and you're going to get about this much or less, and you're literally just going to pinch the salt and you're going to add it into your almond flour. After you have weighed out your almond flour, you're going to take that off, and the next thing that we're going to measure is the confectioner sugar. Confectioner sugar is the one that looks like snow. You're going to take your medium-sized bowl and you're going to put it on your weigher, and you want to turn it on and off and make sure that it is at 0 grams. Our next one is the confectioner sugar. It is at 230 grams. 230 grams for the confectioner sugar. To get 230 grams of confectioner sugar, you are going to take your bowl off, and the next thing that we're going to do is you're going to take one of your small bowls and you're going to turn it on and off again to make sure it is again at 0 grams. The next thing that we're going to be weighing out is egg whites. We're going to learn how to separate the egg yolks from the egg whites. We want to have 144 grams of egg whites in your bowl. Remember, make sure that it is at 0 grams before we start. You take your egg and you're going to hit it on your counter. And what you're going to do is when we separate the egg, you're going to put the egg yolk back and forth into your egg shell. And again, remember, we are doing 144 grams. So you just bring it back and forth just like this to make sure you've got all that egg white in there. And you can keep the egg yolk, but you don't have to. If you want to end up keeping the egg yolk, you can make different things from it, such as flan and other things. Once you have it at 144 grams, you are going to take another bowl and we're going to measure out granulated sugar. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to weigh out our granulated sugar. Remember, you want to turn your thing on and off and make sure it is at 0 grams with the bowl on top of the electric weigher. We are going to weigh out 72 grams of granulated sugar. Granulated sugar is the one that looks kind of coarse. Remember, 72 grams of granulated sugars. Remember, if you get too much, you can always scoop it out and put it back in. So once you have 72 grams, we are now done with our electric weigher. So now we have our egg whites, confectioner sugar, and almond flour with that pinch of salt weighed. What you're going to do next is you're going to take your big bowl with your sifter, and we're going to sift the almond flour. That's the one that looks brown. You're going to sift the almond flour, and then we're going to sift together the powdered sugar. The powdered sugar is the one that looks like snow. So if you know how to sift, you guys can go ahead and sift. If not, I will show you how to sift. The first one that we're going to sift is the almond flour. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put that almond flour into that big bowl. Alright guys, so I'm not sure what happened to my video, but I have already sifted the almond flour as well as the confectioner sugar. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the almond flour in your sifter and you're going to hit it back and forth until everything comes out. Once you start seeing little balls develop in your almond flour, you're going to throw that away because it is too big to put into our almond flour and confectioner sugar. And then after you have sifted the almond flour, you're going to take that confectioner sugar and put it into that same bowl, and you're going to sift the confectioner sugar. So what you're going to do is you're going to put that confectioner sugar into the sifter and you're going to hit it just like this, and it'll start falling like snow. And again, I am so sorry. I'm not sure why my camera did not get that part when I was sifting it. So what you do next is you're going to, after you have sifted it, you are going to take your fork and you're going to go like this and make sure that the almond flour and the confectioner sugar is nice and combined. You can do this for about maybe 15 seconds. That's about all you need, and it should look like this. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is I want you guys to look at your stand mixer if you're using a stand mixer. If you are not using a stand mixer, again, I'm going to post your different speeds into our classroom. So I want to make sure that everybody has up to speed 10. If you have speed 10, you can see it, give me that thumbs up. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys what we are going to do. So the first thing that we do is we are going to put it to speed 4. We're going to put it at speed 4 for 2 minutes, and you're going to put a timer on. Once you hit that speed 4, put a timer on for 2 minutes. After speed 4, you want to go to speed 6 for 2 minutes. After that speed 6 is done, after that 2 minutes, you're going to put it to speed 8. You're going to put it at speed 8 for 2 minutes. After that speed 8 is done, you're going to put it all the way down and turn it off. That is when you want to add your color in there. Because if you end up putting that color in at speed 8, that color is going to splatter everywhere and your mom will not be so happy with me. So the next speed that we do after speed 0 is we're going to put it all the way up to speed 10 for 1 minute. So again, we do speed 4 for 2 minutes, speed 6 for 2 minutes, speed 8 for 2 minutes, and then we go down to 0, turn it off, add our color, then speed 10 for 1 minute. And I will show you guys along the way what the consistency should begin to look like. What we're making is called a meringue. So the only 2 things that we put into our stand mixer or into our bowl for my hand mixer friends is we are going to put in our egg whites along with our granulated sugar. Just the egg whites and just the granulated sugar. Sometimes I have my students put in the other mixture. I'm not sure why, but they end up putting that in there and that doesn't go in there. Remember, we are only putting our egg whites along with our granulated sugar. Go ahead and put your egg whites and granulated sugar into that bowl. So this is what your bowl should look like after you've put your egg whites and granulated sugar. Remember, that is the only 2 things that you put. Make sure again that you have your whisk attachment already in there. And what you're going to do, remember, we're going to put it at speed 4 for 2 minutes. Remember, speed 4 for 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put mine at speed 4 for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to show you guys the consistency of what the meringue looks like. So remember, it is at speed 4 for 2 minutes. Remember, speed 4 for 2 minutes for my stand mixer friends. And I have my timer right here ready. So I'm going to count down for you. Remember, speed 4. Ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and put it to that speed 4 for 2 minutes. I have my 2 minutes on the clock and ready, and I want to show you guys what it starts to look like. So it comes out with a very liquidy consistency, and it will start to change. You'll see more bubbles along the way, and I will be back once this is close to the 10-minute mark. Guys, so I have 30 seconds left on the clock, and this is what it looks like inside. The consistency has changed. So I've got about 20 seconds left on the timer. Remember, we put it at speed 4 for 2 minutes, then speed 6 for another 2 minutes, and now we're going to go to speed 8. What the consistency is starting to look like, it's starting to get a little bit more thicker and bubblier. And after we put it at speed 8, we put it all the way down to speed 0. That is when we add our coloring in it. So go ahead and get your coloring out and get it ready. If you have the food coloring like mine, what you're going to do, you're going to take your knife and you're going to put about this much in there. You want to make sure that it is dark because the color does change when we bake it. So if it's not exactly the color that you want it, you can add just a little bit more, but don't add too much because it can change how the macarons come out. And these are extremely picky macarons, and remember, I have been making these for 7 years and this is your first time making the macarons. So I'm going to be super proud of you for trying, because not even all adults know how to make these really finicky and hard cookies. So I'm going to be very proud no matter how they come out. Remember, if they don't come out looking like mine, that is perfectly fine. I'm going to be super proud of you. This is what it looks like when I have added the food coloring. And remember, the next speed that we put it up is all the way up to speed 10. And we put it up for 1 minute. Go ahead and turn it all the way up to speed 10. This is what it looks like right now. You can see it's starting to get nice and turn mine completely off. And what you're going to do is you might need help with a parent, but you're going to go ahead and you're going to take that whisk attachment off, and you are going to dip it in there like this, and you're gonna get some and pull it out. And this is what we are looking for. We are looking for that nice stiff peak, the stiff peak. This is what we are looking for. And that is how you know you made a perfect meringue. Stiff peaks. You're gonna go ahead and take it on here and you're gonna bang it. You can also take a spoon and you can make sure that everything is off. If you've got about this much left, don't worry about it. Go ahead and throw it into that sink. And this is the consistency of what your batter should look like. Nice and stiff peak. So once we have finished making our meringue, you want to remember this is called a meringue. So what we're going to do with the meringue is we are going to get your almond flour and your confectioner sugar that you sifted and get it ready. Don't do it yet. I want to show you guys how much you put in and what we just wait just a minute and I will let you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide this into thirds. That means that you put it in there 3 times. The first time you put it in, you don't want to put a lot and you don't want to put a little bit, but just make sure I'll show you again how much you're going to put in it and how much is left. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and take your almond flour and your confectioner sugar, and you're going to put about this much in there. You'll have about this much left, and I will show you how much you put in there. You're going to put about this much in there, and what we're going to do next is we are going to learn how to fold. So go ahead and take your rubber or wooden spoon, and remember this is called, what we're doing is we're going to fold it in, and this stage is called the Macaronage stage. Can you guys say Macaronage? Alright, so I'm going to show you now how to fold. So this is a very specific way to fold. What you're going to do is you're going to take your spoon. I'm not going to do it yet, and don't do it yet. I want you guys to watch. You're going to scoop around the sides like this, and once you get into the middle, you're going to boop, bring it down. So remember, you're going to scoop around the sides and then bring it down. And remember, you can always pause if I'm going too fast and rewatch it. Remember, you're going to scoop along the sides, and once you get to that middle, you're going to go down. So you guys are doing a wonderful job. I'm going to go ahead and get ready, and I'm going to scoop around the sides, and when I get there to the middle, boop, bring it down. Go ahead, if you're ready, scoop around the sides and bring it down into the middle. Remember, you're going to scoop it around the sides and bring it into the middle. You want to do this until you no longer see the color white. So I no longer see white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more of my almond flour and the confectioner sugar. I'm going to put that much in, and I have about this much left. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold it. Remember, you're going to scoop around the sides and bring it into the middle. Scoop it around the sides and bring it into the middle. And what we are doing here is we are adding air into our batter, but we are also taking air out, because if we have too much air, you won't have that nice fluffy consistency. And we are doing the same thing. We're making sure that we no longer see any white particles in there, and I no longer see white. And you're going to go ahead and put the rest of that almond flour mixture in there. Make sure you've got every single bit of it in there. And this is the part that's like my arm starts to hurt. It's a little workout, and that's how you know you've been doing a good job. So go ahead and take it, and you're going to do the same thing. Make sure that you no longer see any more white. You're going to scoop around the sides and bring it down into the middle. You guys are doing an awesome job today. I cannot wait to see what your pictures look like when they come out. I am so excited. And remember, again, if your macarons do not come out looking like mine, don't worry. I'm still going to be a very proud teacher. Remember, you're going to scoop around the sides and into the middle. So I want you guys to stop if you have not gotten at this consistency yet. That is definitely fine. And I want you guys to see when I bring it up and you see how it falls, that's not the consistency we're looking for. We're looking for something called a lava-like flow. So when I pick up my spoon, it'll nicely drip back down and it'll incorporate itself back in. So I'm going to do this quickly so you guys can see this is the consistency you want. When I bring it up, you see how it drops smoothly like this, like a lava, and you see how it's incorporating itself back. That means I can no longer see it. It's going back and becoming one with itself. So remember, you're gonna bring it up, watch it fall, and watch how mine falls, and it goes just like that right back into itself, and that's how you are ready for the next step. So what we're going to do next is you're going to take your big cup along with your piping bag and your piping tip. Do not cut it yet. You're going to cut it later when we're ready to pipe. If you guys have piped, let me see what your thumbs up if you know how to pipe. What we're going to, if you don't know, don't worry. I'm going to show you in the video how to pipe. And so you're going to go ahead and take your Macaronage batter, and you're going to put it inside the cup. I do the easiest way for me to do it, and it's the fastest. If you turn it up like this and pour it in there, and you want to make sure that you scrape along all that side because you just work super hard for this batter. I'm going to use all of that batter. Make sure you get everything in there, and I will show you guys what it looks like after I put it in the bag. Okay, so I have put everything into my bag, and what you're going to do, you're going to take your bag and you're going to hold it up at the top like this, and then you're going to go and you're going to spin it around just like this. And what we're going to do, you're going to pipe it, you're going to hold that top, you're going to squeeze it, you're going to squeeze it, and you're going to put your other hand right here. You're going to squeeze and bring it up. Squeeze it and bring it up. And when you squeeze it hard enough, you'll see that it starts to make a circle. Now when I say you're going to make a circle with this, it doesn't mean that you're going to put it in a circular motion. It just means that as soon as you press it down, because of the tip, it's already a circular tip, it will come out. You can make them as big as you want, as small as you want. When you pipe them out, you want to make sure that they're evenly spaced out because they will begin to spread. So I'm going to show you guys now what it looks like when I pipe. Guys, so I'm going to show you how to pipe. You want to make sure that you have cut the tip off, and remember, you're going to hold it like this. You're going to squeeze the top and pipe it out. So you're going to squeeze it here, squeeze that top, and you're going to make it just like that. And you want to go ahead and pipe them all out. Remember, you're going to squeeze the top and bring it up. Squeeze the top and bring it up, and it will make a circle itself. Remember, you're going to squeeze the top of that bag and bring it up. Squeeze the top of that bag and bring it up. Squeeze the top of that bag and bring it up. And you want to make sure that they're evenly spaced out because they will grow. You guys are doing an awesome job today. I wish I was there to see you guys pipe them out, and this is how you want them to look piped out. So I'm going to do with all the trays, once you have piped them all out, you're going to hit them on your counter. You're going to hit them 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This, and you can see little air bubbles coming out. And what that does when we hit it is we're taking air bubbles out, because if we have too much air in there, it's not going to work, and the little air bubble pockets will come out later if you don't do that, and they won't have that nice smooth top. Once you guys have hit your pans on the counter 5 times, you are going to let them sit out. You are going to have a fan either above you, or if you have an electrical fan, let it go on high. You are going to let the macarons sit for 30 to 40 minutes. If you don't have a fan, you're going to let it sit for 1 hour. After that 30 to 40 minutes is done, you are going to take your finger and you are going to lightly touch the top of the macaron batter. And if stuff comes off on your finger, that means it is not ready to bake. And what you're going to do, you are not going to preheat that oven. You are going to wait until these macarons are dry, and then you want to put your oven on at 300 degrees. Now I'm going to show you how to set up your oven. It has to be this way, otherwise it doesn't work. Inside your oven, you are going to have 2 racks. One rack will be directly in the middle of your oven, and then there will be one rack above the that middle one. What you're going to do when your macarons are nice and piped and ready to go, you're going to take that middle rack, you're going to open it, and you're going to put that tray right on it, and you're going to push it back until it won't go back anymore. And you're going to push that in, and you're going to close that oven. You're going to close it for 8 minutes. After that 8 minutes is done, you're going to open that oven right back up, and you're going to move this to the front like this. and you're going to push it all the way back, and you're going to close that oven. It is going to stay in there again for another 8 minutes. When you guys cut your macaron in half, what I mean, like, what does it look like on the inside? It should look like this. It should have that nice crust right here, the hardness, and you see how nice and it looks like inside with the soft, and that is what you're looking for that nice crisp top, and the inside is nice, gooey, and soft. And again, if your macarons don't come out looking like that, I do not want you to give up. I want you to continue trying to make them, because it took me, again, 1 whole year for them to turn out how they look today. So I want you guys to keep trying and don't give up, and I am going to be extremely happy and proud of you no matter how they come out. Remember, you guys will need to do 2 batches of your macarons. I cannot wait to see what the colors that you guys decide to choose, as well as the fillings.